Good morning, everyone. It is a chilly Monday morning. I think it's only going to be around 50 degrees today, so it's in the 40s right now. Cloudy and it could rain, but maybe not. This morning I'll be going to the middle school to do their book fair. That's what I'm thinking of. There's a lot going on this week. Volunteer week has commenced. This dog needs to take a poo because he ate his breakfast. Right? You gotta take a poo. Refrigerator repair people left all these boxes outside. They're like, we left the boxes outside. And now we got wet boxes full of like styrofoam covered in bird doo-doo. Lovely. Anyway, yeah, I also need groceries today, so I need to either order them to be delivered this afternoon or stop on the way. But I think Sebastian wants me to stop on the way because I really like this like mango and peach juice that I have in the fridge in there. And it's like from the Hispanic section of one particular giant. So I might need to do that. I'll have to see. Anyway, I need to dig up some lunch for Jack since we have not grocery shopped yet. A little slim pickings, but we'll figure it out. Okay, go inside. Go get a cookie inside. Go, leave it. Let's go.
you come back in first because you get the.
Did you just eat my sunflower, you dick? You just ate my sunflower. Go inside. Hello, my lovely friends. It is 9:25. Sebastian is asleep. Put my hair up, so excuse how I look. Monday, check. We have finished it. I started my day getting the kids to school. I came with Jax to school and went in with the crush of middle schoolers. Like, literally had to merge into a group, a mass. Hundreds of students. Some were tiny, some were taller than me. I'm not sure. I'm like 5'7", but followed them in the door, but headed into the office, got signed in, and headed to the library. As I said, excuse me, I'm so itchy. I've got eczema around my nose now, and having a bloody nose is making it worse, so I've been putting cream on, and I just put it on and it feels a little, it needs to be rubbed in. Okay, anyway, as I said, the middle school is trying a new book fair service. These things are services, you sign up, they send you everything you need to check out, and all the books and the shelves and everything. They also ordered books for an author that's going to be there on Wednesday, so she can sign them. They did not send those. They didn't send a router for their tablets, and the library is a dead zone. The whole school is a dead zone, so they couldn't use Wi-Fi with the tablets, only cellular, and the cellular only works right at the front door, just inside the front door. So they had to set up a table in the hallway outside of the office, right by the front door. And that's where I got stationed. And it was just a whole process of trying to get all their stuff set up. There's the tablet and the scanner gun and the payment swiper, tapper, and the receipt printer. It was a process. I would say teamwork between me and one of the librarians. There were times where they just gave up on it, and since I was sitting there for so long with no customers because it's the first day, I was like, maybe I can get this receipt thing working. I did get the receipt thing working by the time I had my third customer. I got a working receipt printed out. I had to Google the PDF for the exact receipt printer. It was a mess. But I was somewhat of an expert, even though I only had 3 customers, myself being one of them. My other customers was a police officer in full gear. The school resource officer bought an adorable glow sparkle journal kit for his daughter, and a student bought a novel. Both times things weren't working right, but I powered through and got them checked out. But yeah, it was interesting. I brought my knitting, and that was 100% the right choice. I had a lovely session of a couple hours of knitting in the hall. Maybe more than a couple. It probably got me situated by 9, and I was there till 11:30 when my replacement came, and I kind of went over what she had to do. I didn't have a customer to show her, so I did her best. But yeah, just worked on knitting. I guess they're starting a new thing where they're having a hall monitor. The teachers there are assigned stuff all throughout the day. I often see them at lunch duty and car line duty. But I guess the new thing is hall monitor duty. So they set up a table right after our table got set up. It's just a little further down the hall at the intersection where kids are going to be coming through. And Jack's his history teacher, who's my favorite of his teachers. He's amazing. I love him. He comes out and plops himself down. At first he's like, are you at the hall monitor table? I'm like, no, it's book sale. So yeah, I think they were still figuring out what they needed to be doing, but they're just monitoring the kids that were going through. Lots of kids going to the clinic. I was right outside the clinic, and going to the office for dismissals or picking up things their parents dropped off and all sorts of things. And yeah, then after the first period, I guess, or I don't know what it was, it might have just been the little homeroom, then his math teacher came and took over. So the first two teachers sitting there were his teachers, and both very, very nice ones, some of my favorites. So got a little bit of chatting, but they were mostly doing work and I was doing my knitting and just doing my thing. And they were, checking on the students and seeing what they were doing. You learn a lot when you volunteer, including in the downtimes. You absorb a lot. Take in what's going on that you might not have otherwise known. I saw that they had a lunch bag cart that went out at one point, and I think that's why when Jax's water bottle fell out into my car and I immediately turned around and brought it into the office, like school hadn't even started yet when I got it there, but he didn't get it till a certain period right before lunch. And I saw a kid with a cart with a lunch bag on it, only one lunch bag, and it said lunch bag cart or something, and he goes out of the office with it, and I think he was delivering the lunches that had been brought in, which weren't that many. There was a lot of instruments being brought in. There was a pile in the office, and at least one Chromebook. But anyway, 11:30, trained my replacement and headed out, and went to that grocery store that had the juices that the kids wanted. That brand of grocery store also has fresh baked bagels that Jax eats every single day for lunch. So I got that, just a few little things that I needed from there. Everything else was coming at Walmart right around when Sebastian's bus was going to come, and it literally came like 5 minutes before his bus. But I get home and I sit down with a little lunch, like a muffin and corn chips and avocado. You know me and my muffins, they're good. Don't come for me. But then I start checking my emails and I see that the middle school had just gone into, what's it called? Safe in place mode, something like that. Not shelter in place, not lockdown. Just the doors are locked, nobody in or out, business as usual inside. So had I come for the afternoon shift, I probably would have seen like something going on. I was like literally right outside the office seeing in, because there's indoor windows, with them like having to turn people away, or I don't know. Basically, Loudoun County calls the schools in a vicinity if there is any sort of police chase or activity, because they do not want the schools to become an escape for potential criminals. So they lock the door and do not let anybody in, no excuses, because they could pretend. And then once the person is apprehended, it's called off. The middle school always tells us when it starts. The elementary school is in the same bubble, and they always tell us once it's over, because I think they know the parents will freak out more. So I was like, I wonder if the elementary school is on it too. There is an elementary school next door to the middle school, and that's not ours, but we're in a bubble. There's a lot of elementary schools. So yeah, I think about 15 minutes later, Danny messages back, oh yeah, the emails just came in, and yeah, But all was well. It was just interesting. And while I was sitting there knitting right at the front door, of course, my mind was thinking, what do I do if somebody bad comes? Because my mind always goes there. That's why I'm not one of the parent volunteers at the front office, because I just can't. I can't have that stress on my shoulders. I am not a trained security guard. But anyway, yeah, I get home, ate that lunch, get to my computer, and I wanted to get some emails out of the way and check grades of people being my kids. I emailed Jax's art teacher with some screenshots of his digital art because I really wanted her to see Cutter, the planning period, and she was so excited to see them. She really enjoyed them. And yeah, groceries came right when it was bus time. I got the bags into the counter and then had to rush out to the bus and then come back in and put all the groceries away. But I did a quick little scratch thing that I told Jax I would do. And then I had to go out and get Sebastian. He was supposed to just play for a little bit and then come in for homework, and he didn't. So I got him. And we made it through the stuff that was due tomorrow. But apparently his homework journal was due tomorrow, even though I didn't get an email about it. He tells me it is. And there was a couple more things that we wanted to mark off on it. So we're just going to have to mark it off and do it tomorrow night. I'm sorry. That's just what we're going to have to do. But we got his little teacher appreciation thing done, what I'm going to be doing with the students. I still don't fully understand it. I emailed the person organizing it. I'm like, am I supposed to put his picture on it? I don't get it, because the spot with the picture, it literally says that this is a teacher, an awesome teacher. And it's like the teacher's picture should be there, but she wrote back saying, we have sticker photos of the classes and we'll be putting them on there. You don't need to put the picture on. I'm like, okay. So I think they are putting students on there. Well, I will be, but I don't know. There's also a typo, but it's okay. The teachers will love them. And Sebastian did not want to color a picture, even though he's really good at coloring. My way of getting around that is we do collage. He really likes collage. And we cut out little shapes, and we made a collage of his teacher teaching at her Promethean board. Look it up. It's a giant TV you can touch and hook up to your computer. They don't use chalkboards anymore. What's up with that? But did that, and then Danny emailed that he would like to go out to a burger restaurant. That's a pretty big deal that we're like eating in restaurants. Luckily this one was not very busy because we've been doing some brunch, but we hadn't really done the dinner crowd. But I feel like we're easing in. And man, that place has delicious burgers, and it's a little too far for delivery, so the only time we can get it is if Danny is already over there and is willing to drive it back as fast as possible. But so good. Yeah, Melt. I think it's like top 10 in the country for the burgers. I love the veggie burger. So we had that, and then came home. I did a tiny bit more knitting, and then I had to get Sebastian to bed. And now we are here, and I've talked too long, so I'm gonna pop this into the video and say goodnight. Thank you for making it to the end. You are my MVPs. I love you. Good night. Stay safe, be kind, and don't forget, wash your hands.